Hello, everybody, and welcome to a live episode of Dodgers Territory alongside Clint Pasillas. I am Alanna Rizzo. Don't forget to like us, subscribe, give us a 5-star rating. We would very much appreciate it. Go ahead and follow us wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, and of course, check us out and subscribe to our YouTube page, Dodgers Territory. Clint, good to see you. It's our first show since after the All-Star game and the Home Run Derby. Just a quick thought before we get into it.
I'm enjoying these days off. That's what I will say. Dodger baseball back on Friday, so let's ramp it back up.
All right, time now for the big ticket. Of course, as we get into the show here on Thursday afternoon, lots to talk about since the last time that we were on the air. But I tell you what, I'm a little bit worried, Clint, about Max Muncy, what he said on Foul Territory. He's not feeling too great.
Yep. Yeah, not the update we were hoping for. Of course, we always appreciate anytime there are players, any dignitaries and guests on our great Foul Territory network or family here. But Max Muncy did not produce the best of updates on that oblique situation. Said point blank, he doesn't know when he's going to be back. He's still doing some work. He's got some rotational stuff in there, feeling better day by day. But this, again, raises that point. We know there's a lot of holes. We know there's a lot of issues on this team. But, Alanna, do the Dodgers need to go out now and acquire a third baseman?
Yes, because I think it not only affects who's playing third defensively, it also affects what's happening with the rest of their lineup. I mean, when Max Muncy was on Foul Territory the last time, he was talking about how what he brings to the table is the ability to work counts, the ability to force the opposition to throw a lot of pitches. It allows guys in front of him that he's protecting and behind him to be able to kind of be in their own game and their own style of play and take their own types of at-bats that they want to do. And without him in the lineup isn't as long. The defense isn't exactly where it needs to be at third base. And I know that he's a little bit older, but I would love to see a Justin Turner reunion. I'm not saying that he could play every single day at third base. I know he was a DH in Toronto, but the point is Justin Turner still has a lot left in his bat, and the absolute veteran leadership that I think the club could use, especially with Mookie Betts on the shelf, Clayton Kershaw still not back, every single day, I think is invaluable. And I know that Justin Turner, they just had a baby, he and Courtney did. So bring back the pedigree, the experience, and that dad strength. We need it. Or if it's not JT, is it Chapman? Is it Isaac Paredes of the Rays that comes along with, Randy Arozarena? What do you think? What do you think about the third base spot? Do they go for that in addition to a frontline starter?
That's where I'm at. If I'm Andrew Friedman, I'm on the phone with my old employers. I'm talking to Tampa Bay right now. I'm putting the pieces together to figure out how to get Isaac Paredes in Dodger blue tomorrow, how to get Randy Arozarena in Dodger blue tomorrow. Hell, throw in Zach Eflin, because he was a guy I really wanted when he was I'm going whole hog on this one. I'm going to go full homer, get everybody you need. We know these two organizations already talked a whole bunch in the offseason around, the Tyler Glasnow deals. I'm sure there were, iterations of it that had Randy Arozarena involved. Am I going too crazy? Am I asking for too much here?
No, I love that. I didn't even think about Zach Eflin when I thought about the whole Paredes and Arozarena. I just like saying Arozarena when I thought about that. And Zach Eflin would be fantastic in that Dodgers rotation. And I know that Randy Arozarena has not had a good year statistically this year. I get that. But there's something about coming to the Dodgers that players just kind of reinvent themselves. Again, the Dodgers have a very good way of allowing guys to have success by just being who they are. And I think Hollywood would be a great landing spot for Randy Arozarena. But yeah, throw in Zach Eflin and you get Isaac Paredes at third. I'm all for. That's probably the smartest trade you've made so far, because of your garbage before with Lindor coming over, I didn't buy, and I'm not buying Tarek Skubal with Javi Baez. I saw you tweeting that garbage too, that you would take Baez if we got Tarek. I mean, Tarek Skubal's gonna command a haul.
Yeah. The Tigers would be insane and possibly stupid to trade away their Cy Young Award, front runner ace, of course. But we're at this point where we get to just wildly speculate, throw crap at a wall and see what sticks. So you have a little bit of fun. Do I want Javier Baez in the Dodger uniform? Absolutely not. Did I want David Price when they acquired Mookie Betts? No, but sometimes there is a cost of doing business. And if Baez and getting him out of Detroit, them getting out of at least part of that awful contract, that maybe he's another change of scenery guy along with Randy Arozarena, who I believe, again, Randy making it Randy Wood in left field. I think he would have a nice resurgence there. A lot of fans actually show up to LA as where they don't in Tampa Bay. But this one is more of a reality. The Skubal trade, I can't see that working out. Unless somebody's turning off fair trades on MLB The Show. That said, we can have a little bit of fun with it right now because it's trade deadline season. It's my favorite time of the year.
All right, let's see what JJ Cooper thinks. He's the editor-in-chief of Baseball America, and this week, my goodness, he is incredibly busy. So the fact that we got JJ Cooper on the show is kudos to Jeremy Meyer, our producer and our director. JJ, thank you, because I know that you are so beyond busy. So thanks for being with us. Okay, let's talk recently about the Dodgers draft. When they decided to go for a shortstop, does that tell you immediately, JJ, that they're trying to address an immediate need of the middle of the infield? Obviously, he's not going to come up tomorrow, but perhaps Gavin Lux, Mookie Betts, not the shortstops of the future. JJ, we can't hear you. Turn on your mic, my friend. Hold on one second.
Almost.
There we go. We're getting there.
Halfway there.
We're gonna get JJ Cooper back on the show in just a second as he figures out how to unmute himself, if you will. There's a lot going on, though. You think about the fact that before the break, Clint, we were talking about they need frontline pitching.
Yeah.
After the All-Star game, we're like, mercy. They need frontline pitching. They need probably a third baseman. They need so much. Imagine if the rest of the NL West was playing up to their capabilities. I don't know that the Dodgers would have the lead that they have.
No, absolutely not. I mean, you're thankful that the Dodgers are able to build enough of a lead and that, other people in the NL West kind of fall apart a little bit. You feel good if you could on paper say the Dodgers, finish the first half, 53 and some odd, I forget the number right now, but with a 7-game lead in the NL West over the Giants and is it the Giants? Anyways, importantly, the Diamondbacks, there it is, Diamondbacks and the Padres. You finish in that spot, you take that just about any time. The Dodgers are in a good spot. But again, the problem is all of these holes, all of these concerns, and every other team, all the teams that are in a playoff hunt, in a playoff picture with World Series aspirations, they want the same guys the Dodgers want. So luckily, the Dodgers are in this somewhat advantageous position where there are a lot of pieces that are coming back from injury. Maybe not Max Muncy. We don't know. There's also a lot of guys at the AAA level, minor league level that we'll eventually get to with JJ when we get our mic situation sort of squared away. But it's very, I have a hard time kind of, like my brain goes like 5 different ways when you're trying to figure this out, because you look at the injured list and there's a whole bunch of dudes that could very easily come back and plug right in where maybe you don't need to make a trade for a Justin Turner type, which by the way, I think would fit in. I think JT fits in anywhere. But at the same time, do you do that thing again, which we've seen this organization do, where you're kind of waiting on guys coming back and then you get burned? I don't think fans will appreciate that this year more than any other year.
I don't think you can make assumptions on injuries. JJ Cooper, welcome back. Hopefully the mic is working okay now. We appreciate you very much. I know that you are incredibly busy. Why should fans be excited about shortstop Kellen Lindsay? Oh, do we lose him again, Clint? I think it's just you and I until we can figure out JJ's mic situation. Why do you think fans should be excited about Kellen Lindsay?
I mean, he's a first-round draft pick. Always be excited about a first-round draft pick. The Dodgers haven't done as well when drafting position players in the Andrew Friedman era. So I have a hard time being overly excited about any position player. I don't want to come down on the organization, because I think they do a phenomenal job. They find pieces, they find pitching and all that kind of, jazz that makes it very much easier to go out and trade for guys. And we're able to be in this point where we're talking about, oh yeah, the Dodgers can go out and get a Randy Arozarena, can go out and get an Teoscar Hernandez, and it not really be like, oh, where's the talent? Where are they going to get Like the Padres, they've traded away a boatload of talent over the last few years to try to remain relevant, try to leapfrog the Dodgers. And if they need somebody, if they need more parts at the trade deadline, yes, they have some prospects, but they don't have as much, firepower. The Dodgers, they're shopping with their Amex card when it comes to all these prospects that they have available.
Yeah,
But
but I think San Diego too, though. I mean, I give them a lot of credit. I mean, AJ Preller makes a ton of trades, and he goes out and gets guys. You have to give Peter Seidler, God rest his soul, credit for that ownership group. They wanted to spend money. I mean, and they did spend money. You can only do as a front office or an ownership group go out and get the best guys that are available. But the guys have to play well. They have to pitch. They have to hit. They have to do all those things. And on paper, the Padres are supposed to be a lot better than they are.
yeah, they absolutely are. And not having the guys that entered the season, as we get into Padres talk here, the guys that they entered the season expecting to be their aces with Joe Musgrove, and he's having a bad year. I think he's had some injury issues, and now Yu Darvish, being away from the team. There's some clear needs for them there. You want some help. They want some help in the rotation, but every team kind of needs that. Again, I'll say, they have a couple of guys coming back, but I'll say with the Dodgers, we know Kershaw's coming back probably 2 weeks away. Tyler Glasnow probably coming back this weekend. Yoshinobu Yamamoto has picked up a ball. It still doesn't take away the fact that they need one more. It feels like they need one more frontline guy, because this even gets back into what we were talking about before the season, the very early throes of the season, that fear that you've had, Alanna, in the front end of the rotation. As much as we both love Gavin Stone, talking about him being your number 2, number 3 guy in the postseason, I don't think that's what the Dodgers had envisioned for sure. So where you try to go get a Skubal, you try to go get a Garrett Crochet, something like that.
Yeah, I still worry about Garrett Crochet just because of the innings limit, and when you're going to need him the most. I don't know if he's going to be available. Hopefully, we continue to work as we get JJ Cooper on the show, because he has such great insight with Baseball America. We always appreciate his time, and I know that he's super busy. But let me ask you this: circling back to the week that was, you called it. You said Teoscar Hernandez was going to win the home run derby, and I was watching. I was like, oh, my man Clint knows exactly what's going on. But what a fun time! The first ever Dodger to win the home run derby. I believe he has 19 home runs. I think that's 5th in the National League as far as long balls are concerned. What a fun week. I think Major League Baseball did a great job with it. I think it was just a fun week.
Yeah, I'll take my victory lap on this one. I totally always truly believed in my heart of hearts that Teoscar Hernandez was going to win it. I totally wasn't just being a homer for fun. In reality, I also like I've said, I like him. He's got big boy strength. It's a very easy, simple swing. And shout out Dino Ebel for grooving him some cookie after cookie. But it was fun. It was very much fun watching Teoscar kind of show up, show out. He's been a name in the big leagues, 2-time All-Star, but kind of really hammer in, solidify that stardom. Like, hey, I'm not just that guy who was sort of hidden in Toronto for all those years, or had the bad year with the Mariners last year. It's like, I'm a bona fide star in this league, and I got some pop to show with it.
And that just tells me, lock him up. Sign him. He's here on a 1-year deal. He's, to me, the MVP of the first half for the Los Angeles Dodgers. He has a phenomenal attitude. He has a great personality. He fits in perfectly. He has the power, as you suggested. This guy has been a very nice surprise. He was a surprise for me, because I was thinking, okay, yeah, I thought more of the numbers statistically with the Mariners and with her, with Toronto. But remember, look at Vladdy Guerrero Jr. was like so psyched, like cheering for him, of course, former teammate of his. And that was just fun. And yes, good job on Dino Ebel of throwing cookies right down the middle of the plate. I'm sure Dino's had a lot of time to ice his arm before he starts bringing guys in sending them home from third base. But good for Teoscar Hernandez, good for Shohei to be able to hit that bomb in the actual game, a 3-run jack off of Tanner Houck. You knew that Shohei was going to do something special, right? You just knew it.
He had to. Wearing the right uniform now, the right Los Angeles uniform. Seeing Shohei, it sucks that he's essentially, in my opinion, I think opinion of a lot of people, was robbed of an MVP because of Logan Webb. But that aside, Shohei, we get 9 more seasons of Shohei and All-Star games, maybe pitching, maybe hitting in one in the future. But that was awesome. An absolute show bomb, a jacked 400 footer. He makes it look easy as well, just like
I
Teoscar.
love I love how you say because of Logan Webb instead of saying because of Jaron Duran. You
Nope.
hate the freaking Giants. It's very funny of you.
You're
Yeah,
supposed to,
I'm gonna
right?
give. You know what? I'm gonna give some props to Jaron Duran because this is a guy that has talked extensively about how he's had to battle some demons, the whole mental health issue. I realize this is not Red Sox territory, but good for Jaron Duran to be able to overcome some of those things. And we talk about Teoscar Hernandez being the first half MVP for the Dodgers. Very easily, Jaron Duran is the first half MVP for the Red Sox, and the reason that they, could very well make it into the postseason in the American League this year. All right, how about some behind the scenes while we still work on the technical issues with JJ Cooper of Baseball America?
I like it.
So here we have it, and some people don't really like it on July 18th. I don't care. It is what it is. I'm a planner. I like to plan stuff, so this helps me a lot. But the 2025 schedule release happened today, and the first thing that caught my eye, of course, is the Dodgers are headed back to Tokyo against the Chicago Cubs, and they open the season again. These games count still in the
Yeah.
spring training time frame, but they open the season against the Cubs in Tokyo. So I was like, oh my gosh, I want to go. And then I thought to myself, how in the hell am I going to get tickets? Because the entire country of Japan is going to scoop them up. Because, Clint, do you think Otani starts the game? Does Yamamoto start the game? Or is there another Japanese arm that you think might start the game for LA?
Talking about future Dodger Roki Sasaki. Come on down. Listen, I think the series is going to be fun. I also question the timing of it. It just seems like July 18th. I could see the planner side of it. I could see them trying to line up all of the sponsors and hoopla that go with it. But also, baseball, you could take a day off every once in a while. Just it's okay to not have anything go out there on Thursday. That said, hey, shout out to the Cubs. They put out a great video announcing that with Mike Imanaga's jersey and of course Seiya Suzuki's jersey going up. Still waiting on the Dodgers to drop something heaty. The thing that bothers me somewhat, and we knew this was a possibility. The thing that bothers me somewhat is, can we just, and we talked about it before, can we let the Dodgers have just one normal spring training for the first time in like 5 or 6 years? Because this year is Korea, last year WBC, before that you had the lockout, 2021 and 20. There's all the stuff going around with COVID, and this is good for baseball. It's good for, if it's good for Roki Sasaki coming to the Dodgers, F it, let it happen. But I would like to see the Dodgers just have a normal ass spring training for once.
Hey, old man yelling at clouds. Old man yelling at clouds. It's an international game, and it's always about money, man. It's always about money. And when you have a $700 million player that is the face of the franchise and the face of the game internationally, going to his home country to pitch and to hit, I can see. And now, again, tickets are going to be impossible to get. That's what makes me nervous. And of course, they're not going to be handing out media credentials like they hand out candy. So, I don't really care that it's not a normal spring training for the Dodgers. I think it's awesome. I'd love to go. So if anybody out there that's listening to Dodgers territory would like to take Clint Pasillas and myself, I will carry your luggage. I would love to be able to go to this series against the Chicago Cubs. I also like how you call him Mike Imanaga. That's very incredibly.
Hey, Alanna, do you like how I don't know, I'm going to go with how pimp it is of Guggenheim to be presenting this series?
Oh, I've talked about this before. This is the only ownership group that has so much damn money they sponsor their own team.
Sponsor
There's
their own.
There's Guggenheim patches on the Dodgers uniforms. That's just absolute. Talk about the ultimate flex. We have so much freaking money. We don't even need other sponsors. We just sponsor our own damn team.
Just you can talk to your friends there back at the network at SNLA and all that. I'm sure they could, stow you away as they go over to Tokyo.
Man, I would love that. I would absolutely love. That's gonna be fun though. Good for them.
I'll back for one season just to cover the Tokyo.
I don't want to go to Tokyo that badly. I would go back if I could like go back and live in Manhattan Beach like I did. But that's for another show. That's for another time. We're still having issues with JJ Cooper, which is such a bummer because he has so much good insight on what happened with the Dodgers as far as the draft, what's in the war chest as far as trade deadline is concerned. That's neither here nor there. All right, let me ask you this. When you start the second half of the season, I think for a lot of the teams on the cusp of making it into the postseason, which is obviously not the Dodgers, I think the next 10 to 12 days make or break a lot of teams. Like, for example, the Texas Rangers are 4 games below 500 right now, right? They ended the first half of the season relatively well. Chris Young maintains that he's going to do whatever they can to win. I think their ownership group will do the same. Bruce Bochy is the guy to lead the charge. But the next 2 weeks, is it like kind of D-Day? Is this like the most critical time you think, Clint, for teams that are really trying to? It's like their playoffs right now, right? Like they've got to do whatever they can the next 2 weeks to get into the actual postseason.
Absolutely. This is where we make buyers and we make sellers. I've been saying on my All Dodgers show last couple of weeks, one of the things Dodgers fans should be rooting for more than anything is the Texas Rangers to just keep on losing because they have a few guys that would look real good in Dodger blue. Somebody like a Nate Eovaldi coming back home. Somebody like a Josh Smith who's having a breakout year who could do the same type of role we're talking about with Justin Turner, maybe play some third base, which he's been doing there for Texas, as Josh Young was out. Slide him over to second base if Gavin Lux hasn't figured it out by that point in the season. So they have a couple of guys there. Or if you want to get wild, have some fun. Again, another one of these trades that absolutely will not happen, and I understand that. But for the sake of speculation and the sake of still waiting on our guest to get some things squared away, Jacob deGrom coming back healthy. Maybe I know.
No. You know, it's funny. I saw something today, and now I'm bummed that I don't know where it is. But somebody posted on Instagram today that the top 5 pitchers, as far as money is concerned, they've won like a combined like 8 games. 2 are still on, or 2's on that. One's on the DL. DeGrom's still on the IL. He hasn't won a game. I think Blake Snell is 0-3. Max Scherzer, whatever. You have all these guys that are on the deal that are making a boatload of money. It's a bummer. Anyway, again, it's easy for us to spend people's money, but you got to perform. So I don't want DeGrom. I don't want Javi Baez. I don't want Jacob DeGrom. I don't want who else? Who else do I not want? I want Justin Turner. I would take Justin Turner. I would take Matt Chapman. Isaac Paredes is fine. I would take him.
Yeah. Paredes, he's one of those sneaky guys that I don't think a lot of people league-wide know about. And 30 homer season last year. I think he's at like 20 some odd right now. Again, another one of those guys look real, real nice in a Dodger uniform, let's say by tomorrow or maybe in about a week and a half time.
All right. How about we check into last licks? All right, not only, Clint, do we have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, but today I present to you and our Dodgers territory audience 7 puppies that are up for adoption. This is the Big Bang Theory litter. So you have Sheldon, you have Leonard, you have Priya, you have Amy, you have Bernadette, you have Beverly, who's Leonard's mom. I'm missing folks, but there's Sheldon, there's Leonard, there's 7 puppies that were born to a dog that was a stray in LA. She was dumped in South LA, and she gave birth 2 months ago. These puppies are 2 months old. They just got their second round of puppy vaccines yesterday. They're due for their third round on August 7th. They are wonderful. We have DNA tests out on all of them. We're waiting to get the results back, but they're sweet. They're ready to go home in about 2 to 3 weeks. They all need loving forever homes. If you're interested in adopting one of these beautiful little pups, there's 5 girls, there's 2 boys. Sheldon and Leonard are the only boys, and then there's 5 girls. Visit us at Gidry'sGuardian.org or hit us up on social media at Gidry's Guardian, and I would love to be able to give you some more information. So thank you for that. We appreciate it. All right, let me ask you this as we have a kind of a final thought here on Dodgers territory. The Red Sox and the Dodgers face off in Los Angeles this weekend. So the teams are very different now. And I know that they were here last year. The Dodgers were here last year at Fenway. But the teams, since they met in 2018, have gone very different directions. The Dodgers have put together some really good clubs. The Red Sox are kind of scratching and clawing to get into the postseason this year. So this is how much money each Major League Baseball team made last year and how much of that is going towards their payroll. So basically how much you make versus how much you're reinvesting back to your team. You see the Dodgers there. We're talking about Guggenheim, and it's easy to make fun of them because they're billionaires, but they do put their money where their mouth is. Whereas the Red Sox are 20th on the list.
Yeah, a very different angles of attack there for both of these organizations, and it also shows there's different ways to kind of piecemeal a team into the postseason. I mean, look at the Rays, dead last on that list, and they tend to make it to the playoffs quite often. I think the Red Sox were hoping for a little bit more out of, like, if we're talking about going back a couple of years, of course, the Red Sox trade away Mookie Betts. I think they were hoping for a little bit more out of the haul they got from the Dodgers. Alex Verdugo didn't quite end on good terms in Boston there, and they haven't had the best of luck in free agency in recent years. Teoscar Hernandez, they don't want to spend the money. That's what it comes down to. They didn't want to spend the money. I saw on the X, I think earlier today, Teoscar or the Red Sox had offered Teoscar 2 years and 28, ends up taking 1 and 23.4 or whatever it was from the Dodgers. It's like, there's your difference. There's two teams that make money and are willing to spend it. And, kudos to the Red Sox for being kind of in it. At least they have a starting rotation right now somewhat. The Dodgers are all TBD for this
for this weekend. I know. I did not think that, and I don't even know what our starting rotation is this weekend, if I'm being honest, but I'm assuming it's Gavin, it's probably Landon Mack, probably Rybleski.
River Ryan could be making his.
That's true, and that's something we were going to actually ask JJ Cooper about with Baseball America. Is Fabian Ardaya had said, and we had Fabian on the show not too long ago, but Fabian Ardaya had said that River
Ryan, yeah.
Thank you. River Ryan was going to be making his debut. But again, I just feel like this is out of necessity. Thank goodness that they have a cushion in the division, because these guys are coming up because they absolutely don't have anybody. They don't have any arms right now. And it is problematic.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, Tyler Glasnow, we know. I think everybody in the world knows the injury is not an injury. It was a break. So he will be coming back as soon as he's eligible to return from the injured list. So that's good. You get a grown-up back in the rotation, as it were. But so we keep circling back to this team needing some help. And looking at the chat here, by the way, going back a little bit, did not make too many friends mentioning DeGrom in there. Kenny Chung saying DeGrom and Scherzer are both cooked. I don't know about that. Maybe not in Dodger blue. I don't want to necessarily see them. But when you're desperate, you just throw names out there. That's the fun of this time of year on the internet. You can just say shit and it most likely won't happen. But I don't know. I still am a little salty about Scherzer in a Dodger uniform when there was like arm fatigue or whatever the hell it was in the postseason. Like that I'm a little salty about that. I'm not going to lie. I have a question for you before we trend towards wrapping up, because I think our issues with JJ Cooper are unfortunately permanent.
Well, we'll have to have a rain check, right, with JJ?
Absolutely a rain check there. But you mentioned Justin Turner. Does it concern you that JT hasn't really played much third since leaving the Dodgers?
No, I think it's like riding a bike. I mean, remember when he was signed with us was as a freaking second baseman. Yeah. He was a utility guy, second baseman. And then it was like all of a sudden he's at third. We're like, what are we doing? And then he ended up being one of the best in terms of I don't care if Justin Turner catches. I think there's just something about him. There is it's an intangible thing, I think, that he brings to this club. And there's something special, I think, about his way and the way that he goes about his business and the glue and the unity that he provides. And we need a third baseman. I think he lengthens the lineup. I think that he just brings a lot to the table. Is it a forever solution? No, but he's 40. How long is JT going to play? Yeah,
he says he wants to play into his 40s, and if he comes back to the Dodgers, comes back, to LA, he's already right there to take over in some sort of coaching role with the team. It all works out, happy ending.
I love it. By the way, congratulations to him and Courtney on Bo Jordan Turner, their baby boy. What's next on All Dodgers, Clint?
Well, I'll be complaining less about Justin Turner and all of that on the show. But tonight I welcome my friend from ESPN LA, Greg Bergman. We're talking about a whole bunch of trade deadline. Our friend, I know you know Greg. But we're talking about a whole bunch of trade deadline stuff. It's actually time to really talk about it. So we're talking Tarek Skubal. We're talking Garrett Crochet. And, of course, we're talking how do we get Randy Arozarena and Isaac Paredes in Dodger Blue. So that is 6 p.m. Pacific time on my channel, All Dodgers with Clint Pasillas. That's
all right. Make sure you tube into that, All Dodgers with Clint Pasillas. Clint and I will be back with you on Monday, of course, at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, and hopefully we can have JJ Cooper back with us at some point as well. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like us, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.